Get in contact with Marcus anytime. Email us mpinthemorning@2smsupernetwork.com.
Okay, welcome back to the program. Hello to you if you're just joining us for the first time this morning. On this Thursday, it is November 12, 1269, MP in the morning at 2smsupernetwork.com. Look, a really important conversation about to take place at 7:05 New South Wales Daylight Saving Time. An investigation into a major online pedophile network has found 16 children from one Mid-North Coast childcare centre were allegedly sexually abused by a former worker. Yet more details are coming out about this story we exposed the other day. A 27-year-old Kendall man has been charged with more than 300 offences. Police allege he's part of an international pedophile ring, and they're starting to smash it, which is good. 14 others have been arrested, and at least 46 children have been abused, some as young as 16 months. Australian Federal Police said the operation was one of our country's most significant efforts targeting child exploitation, with 146 tip-offs to authorities in Europe, Asia, the United States, Canada and New Zealand. The alleged offenders, and I'm sorry to bring it up at breakfast time, but we need to, as you know, when I spoke to Denise Morecambe on Friday for Daniel, we need to do absolutely everything we can to look after our children. Our children are our future. I know it's a song and I get, it's not corny. No, it's not corny at all. Our kids are our bloody future. And we should be doing everything we can to protect them from these monsters, these pedophiles. These offenders allegedly accused of producing and sharing child abuse material to a wide-reaching online network, both here in our country and overseas. It's been a long investigation. 27-year-old Timothy Doyle and his 22-year-old partner Stephen Garrard have been arrested in the mid-North Coast town of Kendall, and they've been charged with hundreds of offences, a 27-year-old and a 22-year-old. Another man was arrested just the other day. But this Doyle bloke in particular, Timothy Doyle, has been charged with 303 offences relating to the abuse of 30 kids, with allegations including sexual intercourse with a child under 10 and the production of child abuse material. The man's partner, a 22-year-old man, also allegedly abused children. His partner accessed through deceptive means in his personal life. It's believed the childcare centre is not in the town of Kendall, and parents of all victims have been notified. Now, we won't be naming the childcare centre, but thank God these kids have been saved. To talk about this and the importance of protecting our children from Bravehearts, good morning to Hetty Johnson. Good morning, Hetty.
Good morning, Marcus.
I'm both relieved, but at the same time I'm disgusted by these allegations. I'm relieved that a couple of men are in custody, and at the same time I'm disgusted that we still have people that think that this is acceptable behaviour.
Unfortunately, there are, hundreds, if not thousands of them in our country. I mean, sex offenders are everywhere. They're in every occupation. Recently, we had a paediatric nurse in a hospital for many, many years in Tasmania committing offences against little sick kids. So unfortunately, we have to get better as a society of understanding this issue, educating our children, educating ourselves and responding appropriately when kids disclose.
Well, thank God, Hetty, we have people like you and the Morecambes, brave people who've been through their own personal tragedies and issues that have put themselves forward in the interests of protecting other people's children. There's nothing more precious than my two kids.
No.
I mean, they're old now. They're, 17 and 19. But I would do absolutely everything in my power to protect them from predators.
And that's what makes you so amazing, Marcus. And that's what kids need. If we as parents don't defend our children, then they're lost. They've got no one else. They rely on their parents, and that's why it's so very heartbreaking when too often parents don't actually stand up for their kids, because what their children are telling them is just far too difficult for the parent to believe and to comprehend and to accept. it's just too difficult for them to, so they just go into denial. But, you know, there's we have to thank our police. Our police are just incredible.
Absolutely.
And this ACE team, they're the best in the world, or amongst, if they're not the best, then they're right up there in direct competition with the best. They are incredible. Those people in there are amazing. And, you know, it's just, we're just so lucky, and we should all be so grateful that they are prepared to do this kind of work. This is really hard work for them. They have to actually look at these images,
Of course,
to work out, you know, who the children are and where this offending is happening, and that's you know, mentally really difficult for them. I just think we should all be very grateful, and hearts and souls go out to the parents and the children who've been affected here.
Yeah. Yes. Well, look, I think we need to take away the stigma and the taboo around this topic. Yes, I understand.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate it's not, you know, it's not something that, you know, is discussed around the dinner table, but I think it bloody well should be, and we should also have blokes and, you know, blokes talking about it with their mates at the pub, and we should have women talking about it when they get together with their girlfriends for a night out and a couple of drinks. It should be front and centre, because at the end of the day, we're nothing without our children.
Oh, Marcus, I love you. That is exactly right. We have to talk about it. I noted in your introduction just how quickly some people can be about this subject. It's not a nice topic. No one wants to think about it. 1 in 5 Australians are survivors, and it hits their buttons, you know, and it brings everything back for them, and it's not pleasant.
Yeah.
But you know what? Silence, secrecy, shame, fear, those things are these sex offenders' very best friends.
Absolutely.
And our children's worst enemies. And thank you so much for talking about it. And every parent out there, get on the Bravehearts website. Please get on to Ditto, D-I-T-T-O, Ditto's Keep Safe Adventure. We have seen over 1 million children now, well over, face-to-face, plus hundreds of thousands of more free downloadable information there.
Yep.
This is an absolute must, like immunisation and breastfeeding for every child. Please get on there and get it, everybody.
Can we get something like this heading into our school curriculum? Can we teach? I mean, we've always known about, you know, the so-called stranger danger. That's always been out there, and we've had wonderful initiatives in the past, stranger danger, and, you know, those community, you know, with the blue signs around homes. You know, this is a safe home. We need to reintroduce something like that, but in the vein, if you like, of Bravehearts and maybe the Daniel Morcombe Foundation and everybody that's out there protecting our kids. Let's start a grassroots campaign similar to the Safe Homes situation, where we're talking about, you know, the signs. I mean, what are the signs, Hetty, that something's perhaps not right with a child?
Okay. First of all, yes. Get the curriculum in there. There's difficulties with that because teachers not comfortable talking about this topic any more than the general community is, and they're talking to little kids.
Yeah.
And we are such a multicultural society. There is an insistence. It's a sort of a lefty move, but it's an insistence on the use of anatomical names, and that makes teaching difficult.
Hang on. Yeah, but look, if we have some areas of our education system talking about things like gender fluidity and all this sort of stuff, I mean, that's, you know, for some people I respect and understand that that's important, but it's nowhere near as important as protecting children, and that's why,
absolutely,
you know,
Marcus, we're talking about ages 3 with this Ditto program, and we absolutely nail this. This is so effective and so unconfrontational, and it's just brilliant. So this is what you're right. That's what we have to do. We have to get it in the curriculum, and we have to make it mandatory. And then what are you looking for? Okay, in the behaviour in adults, what you're looking for adults, any adult in your child's life who pays more attention to your children than to you. So if you're at that barbecue and that person is always the one in the pool playing with the kids, always the one helping the kids go to the bathroom or get changed, the person that puts his hand up or her hand up, the first women offend as well, in very small numbers, but they do, so don't ignore that. The one that wants to take your kids babysitting every time or to the shop or get an ice cream, you know, that person, none one of those things on their own is an indicator.
Of course.
But collectively, these are signs. If your children are educated by Ditto, they will tell you. Your next thing as an adult is to listen to your children. Research around the world has told us categorically 98% of times when children disclose that something untoward is happening to them, they are telling the truth. As uncomfortable as it is for us as adults, children do not lie. And I don't think there's anybody listening, Marcus, who has not had somebody at some point tell them something's happened to them as a child and they've discounted it.
Oh,
or just,
absolutely.
that's rubbish.
Yep.
Don't do that, believe it. And in our children, if your children are really gregarious kids, they're outgoing, they're fun,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they become quiet or their behaviour changes in any way, if they tell you, I don't like Uncle so-and-so or Auntie so-and-so, don't force them to spend time with those
Yeah,
people.
there's probably a
Get on
reason.
the little chair and talk to them. Why?
Yeah.
Why don't you like them?
Yeah, there's probably a reason. Absolutely. Hetty, where do we go again for more important
All
information?
on our website, bravehearts.org.au.
Well, let's talk again soon, and we'll continue to talk till we're blue in the face, because protecting kids and child protection is everybody's business.
Thank you so much, Marcus. Absolutely, 100% correct.
Good to chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
From Bravehearts, there's Hetty Johnson. What a remarkable woman. And look, anybody that's protecting our kids, whether it's Hetty or, Bruce and Denise Morecambe, they'll always have a voice on this program.